welcome back to my channel. I thought I would show you my St. Patrick's Day palettes. Again, I think I did this a couple of years ago. I don't know if I went through them all last year. I couldn't remember, and I couldn't be bothered to go back and check, but I did get a couple of these palettes last year, so I figured I would show like the actual St. Patrick's Day like themed palettes, not just green palettes, because I could do a video with all of my green palettes, but we would be here for a hot minute. So these are just St. Patrick's Day. I've got two technically green palettes, but these are super like cheap drugstore options if you don't have any green and you're looking for something small on a budget. That's the only reason I included those, but other than that, these are strictly like St. Patrick's Day themed palettes. I don't have too many, and then I will do a look with you. There's one of these palettes that I got last year that I've never used, so we'll do a look at the end. So I am gonna put a little bit, I brought my travel bag with me from traveling recently. Like, this is skincare and makeup, this is it. So I'm proud of myself that I've condensed it down this small, but I'm gonna put this on and then we'll do the video. It'll be a hot minute for me. It'll be like a second for you. So that only took me about 5 minutes. Let me know if you want to see an updated makeup routine. The only powder I have is right under my eyes where I put a little bit of concealer. This is just tinted sunscreen and then cream, like stick contour, cream blush. So let me know if you want to see that. I don't think this looks bad, and there's nothing to settle, so I don't get like settling into the lines, and I think it looks, this is generally what I've been wearing on the day to day. Super, super minimal. This is probably the most minimal I've ever done, but let's get into the list. These are not in any particular order, so I'm just going to go down. Like I said, I did pull two inexpensive drugstore options just in case you didn't have anything green. You could run out to Walmart. So this is from Hard Candy. I should say I am filming this the Saturday before St. Patrick's Day, and this video will go up Monday morning on St. Patrick's Day instead of Tuesday. That way, again, if you need some green options, Walmart carries this, and then this one I got at Ulta. So this video will drop at 8 a.m. Pacific time, I think. But this is Hard Candy. What is this called? Moods. Is that the name of this one? Maybe. It's the green one. I don't, if there's a name, I'm not real sure what it is, but you get a dark green, a light green, and then two shimmers. So this one is good. Usually if I want to bring a green palette with me, if I'm traveling, I bring this one, and these ones are fine. The packaging, even though it's plastic, is pretty sturdy, at least as far as moving around in the makeup bag. But this was under $5, I think, at Walmart. Very inexpensive. Another option is the Essence Dancing Green. This one, again, you can get at Ulta. And again, you have a like a khaki brown, and a dark green for mattes, and then the rest are shimmers, but it's pretty. And again, if you don't have any green and you just need a little something to add, this is a good one. So I thought I would throw those in. Okay, last year from Lorella, we got two in the subscription box. I think I liked the Clover better. Is the Clover the one I liked better? Yeah, I think I liked the colors in this one better, but these are pressed glitters. These two are pressed glitters, but these palettes are still available if you see any. This is a shimmer, like a basic standard shimmer, and then these three are mattes, but this is the, what is this called? Can't Pinch This. And then they gave us So Lucky, which this has only one pressed glitter, and then the, like the basic, I say basic shimmers, like this is very like 2016. They're not ultra metallic-y, but they're nice, and you can put like glitter toppers or whatever you want on top of them, and they layer fine. But I liked the mattes, the matte selection in the 4-Leaf Clover palette just a little bit better. We got one in the Ice Cream Beauty box also. This is called End of the Rainbow, and this was a Ladybug Glow and Ice Cream Beauty collab. And I think you can get this on Ladybug Glow's website. I think they were saying that you could buy this. Don't quote me on that, but again, you've got 6 mattes. And then these are like duochromes in the middle, so it's pretty. This is one that I've swatched, but I've never actually used. I have a pile of like indie brands, like off indie brands, ones that aren't super popular that I've gotten in boxes that I'm not sure how I feel. So that's going to be a video. I might have to break it into 2 parts, but we're going to do all the palettes and like bounce back and forth one eye to the next, because Ladybug Glow is one that I used to hear about. I don't hear about it anymore, and I have 2 palettes from them, so they are in the pile, but that'll be a separate video. But it's cute packaging. So I need to find out if I like that brand, because if not, like that stack of palettes, if that palette, those need to go, like, then let's move them out. I have Just My Luck. I actually have 2 of these. There's like a square. We'll put it right there. I'm not sure why that's on my viewfinder, but I can't get it to go away. It's fine. I actually have 2 of these. I had one, I depotted it because this plastic packaging is actually really easy to take apart. You just need to pop this off. Like I go in with like a screwdriver in between here, and then there's just 3 magnet strips, and then you can pull the pans right out. They're really, really easy to take apart. So I have one of these in with my singles because I actually put a couple of shades, like these 2, I think, in the Haunted Mansion palette. I added some green to mine. And then I got another one in a subscription box. And I actually used to really like using this for St. Patrick's Day. So I decided to keep this one intact for now. So this is a new one. But I've used a lot of the shades out of this when I've swapped around some of their palettes. So it's a really nice palette. And I will say, even to this day, this green in the middle, Mary Jane, is a really unique shade. That's partly why I never got rid of this palette, but this one right here in the middle, very unique to my collection still. So I've got a complete one. I saved all the plastic packaging. It's up in one of my cabinets in this room, but yeah, these are super easy if you ever wanted to depot. These are super easy to take apart. This is the one we're going to do an eye look with at the end. What is this called? Out of Luck. This is, it's from ZXC Beauty. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. They have a website. This is one of their, I'm going to call it a mashup palette. Like, these are not unique shades. They took shades from 2 palettes and put them together, and there's like 3 or 4 of them. They're in a separate section on their website, and it does list which palettes they came from, which I appreciate, because if you have the palettes, then you don't need to buy these. I bought it for the packaging. Let's just be real. You don't see a ton of St. Patrick's Day palettes, let alone one with an evil leprechaun on it. So I had to buy this. I love the original Leprechaun movie with Jennifer Aniston. The shimmers in here are a little bit soft. You can see like that one was on the verge of exploding, and I had to press it back in. And this one I feel like wants to fall out. I've never used it other than pushing those shimmers back in. So we're going to do a look with this today, just because why not? And then this doesn't want to close real well, so I would never travel with this, but I like it. And then I have, technically this is not a St. Patrick's Day palette, but this is the Ireland Wild Atlantic. So it is an Irish themed palette, which screams St. Patrick's Day. And then it's got the clover on the front, so I'm including it. This is one of the ones I bought last year from them, and I like it. I like the matte selection. I think their shimmer formula gets better and better with each palette that they launch. A little bit more micro glitter in there, just more sparkly. And I do like a green palette. So have I used this? I don't think I ever actually used it. Nope, I've never used this one either, but I have it, so it's here. So yeah, I'm gonna prime my eye, and I'll do one eye off camera, and I'll come back, and then we'll do the other eye together. So again, for me, it's going to be a minute. For you, it'll be a second. Okay, so for a primer, I'm just going to use the Ulta Beauty matte eye primer. I like this one. It's pretty close to the Urban Decay ones. I used to use the Urban Decay primer years ago, but this is pretty close. And it's cheaper than some. The price of everything is gone up. I want to say this is probably 10 or 12. So, I mean, there's other things that you could probably get that are cheaper, but like I said, it's cheaper than Urban Decay, which I don't think is saying a lot, but I'm only using these 3 brushes for the eyeshadow, and then I did end up going in with a small flat one just to put on some glitter glue because I was having issues. It's very flaky. The shimmers in here are very flaky, but we're going to use this green to start, and then a little bit of the light one to blend it out, and then I'm going to go in with this one and then this one, and then we'll do some shimmers. I don't think anybody really has this palette, and there's no name, so I'm not going to bother trying to like hold it up, but those are the colors that I used. I will say I think this formula would probably do a little better with the Gerard Cosmetics, only because it's wetter, so I would like maybe a wet concealer or something. There was a couple of the like combo palette, whatever they call it, that looked pretty, but this was a little bit pricey. This was like a $60 or $70 palette, and I 100% got sucked in by the packaging. But yeah, that's a lot to pay for like a weird, not that the brand is weird, but like a palette that you've never like heard of the brand before. And then I just took one of the lighter shimmers up under my brow bone. Again, there's no names. There's probably names on the back, but yeah, there is. But again, I've never seen anybody talk about this brand, so I'm not going to worry about holding it up and telling you the names and all of that. I'm sticking to the grungy side. I like that there's grays in here and some taupey shades. I think that's why I was also interested in trying it, because it was a color story that I liked, not just the packaging. But definitely, like, there's glitter in my eye from this. I'm just going in with the darker green. Not the darkest one. There's one that it's a little bit darker. It almost looks black, but it's not quite. And there is a black in this palette. So yeah, I just think the mattes are not bad, but they're not as pigmented. So I definitely think this formula would lean better. Like, you'd get more punch with a wetter primer. But I do think some formulas do better with some kinds of primers than others. Like the Milani one, I think is fine. I have the Milani primer, but I have some formulas that I just think some of my other primers do better with. So more intense shadows, I think, do better. Like, you can get away with whatever kind of primer, but stuff like this where it's not super pigmented, I think do better with a wetter base, which you can get away with using just concealer and just not setting it. And you'll also get extreme pigment if you use a wet base with just shadows that you don't have a problem with. Okay, and then I'm just using the NYX glitter glue again. If you're new, mine broke and it was a brand new tube, like the tip fell off, so I depotted it in an extra Gerard canvas. I just have NYX written on the top so I can tell the difference, because I have a flesh tone color, a white one. So yeah, if you're new, it's NYX glitter glue. I finally repurchased a new one because mine was old, and mine wasn't completely empty either. It makes me mad. And I used it twice, and then the top snapped off, and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to buy a new one. I'm gonna just salvage this the best I can. So far, knock on wood, it's been working. So this is the gold, and it's super, I can see why this like was on the verge of exploding. It's a powder, but it's super flaky. Like, it's almost hard to pick it up on a brush. It did really well on the other side. I'll hold the palette up, but it's messy. And I'm getting whatever that's made out of in my eye. And you can see it going down on my face before I blow it out. Like, look at that. And there's gold flakes. It's got a little bit of a shift, so it is a duochrome shade, but it is messy. And I laid down glitter primer too, but this green one that's in here is just as soft. Like I touched it and it like wants to explode. Maybe that's why I've not heard about this brand. Like I said, it's not bad. They're just very soft. So you could replicate this look with any palette. I just used a gold, some sort of shimmery green. The green out of the palette that I used is this one. And then I'm gonna use this dark, it's a shimmer, and then this one towards the inner corner. And then this is the one I used under the brow bone, and I'm gonna use it on the inner corner too. Again, they have names, they're on the back. I don't like when brands do that because it's cumbersome. But like I said, if more people had this, I would probably go through it, but I don't think anybody does, so I'm not gonna bother and have that spill out more than it already is. There is glitter all over me from that, and it's in my eye. Okay, I'm gonna use the darker one. About halfway. And then the brighter shimmer. Kind of overlap it a little bit. And then I like to try and blend it out a little bit. And then I'm just gonna go in with the lightest matte green shade and just run a little bit underneath to help blend that out. And then I also like to drag the inner corner highlight in a little bit and up a little bit just to kind of help transition those. But that is it. And then I would probably do liner and mascara. I'm gonna wash this off after. I just wanted to get some sort of a green video up. And let me pull you back and then we'll do final thought. So the shades that I used was Rampage. I could probably see if I can figure out how to hold this open. So it was Rampage, Reaction, and then Radioactive was the one that I used in the inner corner and on my brow bone. Let's see, where am I at? And then Basil was the dark, like outer corner shade right here. And then the gold is Golden Hour. Then I used Cosmic Ray, was this one. And then the dark shimmer is called Black Hole. So it's this one. The black is called Secret. So I used Black Hole, and then this one is Gamma Burst. Some of their palettes are like outer space themed. You can probably figure out which shades came from which, but yeah, one of them's Photon. But yeah, those are the shades that I used with the names. But yeah, I love, can we just take a minute with this packaging? Like, that's so cool. I wish this closed better because this is like barely. So that's a little bit of a bummer for the price point, but it's acrylic. Like, this is plastic. This is not, I mean, yes, there's probably a sticker under here, but there's like acrylic on top of it, which I can appreciate. But yeah, that's cool. So again, not bad. I definitely think if I use this one again to do one of the Gerard clean canvases, even the white one, I think the look came out pretty impactful. I stayed again on the grungier side of the palette, but there are grays in here. If this palette is still available, I will link it down below. Again, I don't know much about this brand. This kind of seems like a, I don't know, kind of reminds me of like the Chinese brands like ZC kind of, but not quite. I don't know. Again, the ones that I looked at that I was interested in, they had a purple and pink one that were like mashup palettes. But again, at this price point, I just never bought anything else. But I didn't have any issues, but you can see like this one and this one are on the verge of just going poof. So if you end up ordering, just be careful with it. It came intact. Like, I didn't have any issues with them shipping it. They wrapped it really well. But again, I don't know if this one's still available. I just thought the packaging was cool and I hadn't used it. So I figured I would use it. Because again, you could recreate this look with any green palette. Greens, gold, green shimmer, whatever you want to do on the lower lash line, super easy. But yeah, thank you guys so much. And I am tired, We had to help my parents move. They're moving from one rental house to another. We didn't move everything, but we moved some bigger pieces today, so I am tired. I have not even had one of my guppies yet. It's been a day, but I hope you all have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. I am going to be making corned beef and cabbage with carrots, some potatoes, like the normal. I don't know if that's normal. That's what I grew up eating on St. Patrick's Day. My mom is going to be making the Irish soda bread. I have made it before. It's pretty easy. You can Google a recipe for it. It usually has raisins or currants in it. My mom's going to make 2 loaves and give me one. Again, I have made it before. I just did not get the stuff to make that. And then I got green jello. I'm going to do green jello cups, and then green pistachio pudding with whipped cream and rainbow sprinkles. Just some fun stuff for the kids. I don't know if they will eat the pistachio pudding. I think they'll eat the jello, but just something fun. And then we did make a leprechaun trap. I have to put out the TV that I made. I got a green stamp. I'm whispering because sometimes my daughter comes down here and then doesn't. She like hides around the corner. I got a stamp that looks like little leprechaun shoes and green ink. So I like stamped the like shredded toilet paper. So I'm going to TP the trap and then put some stamps on the footprints on the counter. But we made that. So that's out. And then I made a little sign that says better luck next year. That'll like everything's in a bag ready to go. I did that the other day because the little ones weren't paying attention, and so it's ready to go because I'm paranoid I'm going to forget Sunday night. But we have that, and that's about it. I've never gone out on St. Patrick's Day. My husband has, and I lived in San Diego, but it's crazy in San Diego, like crazy town. My husband's also gone to Phoenix because Flogging Molly used to do concerts up there, but I don't think they do that anymore. So I've never gone out on St. Patrick's Day. I've always just stayed home. And then I like Darby O'Gill and the Little People, the one with Sean Connery. It's super old Disney movie. Highly recommend if you've never seen it. He's very young in it. That's how old it is. But it's got leprechauns and fairies in it. It's really good. And then I like the TV movie. I don't remember if it's called Leprechaun. It's got Dennis Quaid in it. Like Whoopi Goldberg plays a banshee, I think. It's got a bunch of celebrities in it. It was a TV movie that came out in the early 2000s. So we'll watch probably both or one of those if I remember on Monday. So yeah, let me know what you guys end up doing. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your day. And if you're not subscribed already, make sure you do. And yeah, that's all I have. I hope, again, everybody has a wonderful St. Patrick's Day, and I will see you in another video. Bye, everybody.